hit it.
Give me a second, bro. Let me start recording this shit too for a video.
Yeah, just because you're about to get
I'm
on fire right now. I already see you in the zone, so I don't want to, make sure
yeah,
you guys don't
yeah,
miss.
bro. I got a little
If
got a
I
little bit
stop
of
talking, Dave,
alcohol
I
in me.
headed out. If feel free to call me whenever you, Dave. You wanna call me maybe after the meeting or maybe tomorrow. I'll be waiting for your call. Just give me a heads up because I have my calls off usually, Dave.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, dude, don't worry about it, man. If you got to head out for your run, don't sweat it. We got Sal in here and we got Danny, so I'll just be continuing with the meeting as normal. We're just gonna do a lot of review and prep work and just cover basic principles. But
Sure.
yeah, man, I'm gonna start ripping, and we definitely need some more content because I'll be beefing online, bro.
I
I know
saw.
you saw that. You saw that fucking video today, bro. I'll be calling out the shit, man. Gotta call out the motherfucking shit. Believe it or not, bro, I lost like after I released those videos. Believe it or not, I lost like damn near 20 followers.
Uh,
People do not like the truth. My follower count dropped dramatically after I had that beef with that guy. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what did I say that was so fucking offensive? But anyway, fuck him, bro. I don't care. I can't save everybody, man.
keep them going.
But
Just keep going.
keep going, bro. Keep going, man. But all right, bro. If you got a dart out, have a great rest of your night. Hopefully you're making money. Did you take the pound Aussie and the dollar yen?
Not the dollar yen. It's not a pair that I trade at all. I just
Oh,
stay away from that, my dude. That shit is. I've had so many bad experiences. I have a set list, bro, and I pay attention to every setup. But if it's not on my list, I don't trade them anymore, bro. You know how the more time we spend trading fucking throughout the years, we just try to make our process as simple as possible. So cut up, I cut as many pairs as I just don't fuck with, and it just makes my thinking process simpler to make decisions. I just stick to the simplest process possible, and I continue to see that my trading becomes simpler and simpler.
that's the way it should be, dude. That's
Yeah,
literally the way it should be. Narrow it down to a couple key setups, and
yeah.
we're just gonna be fucking making money, dude. You don't need to trade everything. That's what I'm trying to communicate to all the guys in here. Is just, bro, find something that you really click with, whether that's long-term trading, swing trading, day trading, intraday trading,
Longing,
scalping.
shorting.
Yeah, long and short. And dude, if I took your fucking advice, like
Yeah,
when you grew one of our clients' portfolios, like you fucking 3x the account just longing, bro.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm fucking doing something wrong right now. And our consistency has been up the roof just strictly longing. It just goes to show that our edge changed overnight after COVID. Shorting is not, and look at the fucking euro, bro. Even though we didn't take it, I was calling the short on the
Yeah.
euro. It's right here, and it just look at the short squeeze, dude. This right here is where we're calling short on the euro, and it just did not play out. And then we took another stab at it here, but like I said, we're not wrong because we didn't lose money. Our idea was wrong on taking a short on the euro. Although we did say
It's setting
expect
up
this
very
move
nice,
to be
Dave.
hit.
Exactly how you have it drawn out is pretty much what I expect. I expect one more swing high just because that's Monday's made high, and after that, I'm all in on the short.
Yeah, I just wouldn't take it though, to be
Yeah,
honest with you, bro. I don't. I just shorting is just not our fucking thing, bro. Because you can get
yeah.
many pushes higher before the actual move, and I'm just not with that. Like, I mean, just look at this
The only
here,
reason I
stopped
like it,
out
Dave,
short
is
here.
just because the aggressive ass risk to reward. If let's say you enter right at 1.09, give yourself 30 pips of just your stop loss, and then you could probably, if it works out, squeeze maybe a risk reward of maybe fucking 8 or 10, bro. You know what I mean? Like those are the
Oh yeah,
those are the nice risks for me, just because it gives me the tightest stop ever. And if it works out, it works out. Especially if I catch it at the right moment, at the right time, New York sesh, it just aligns.
yeah. That's a 1 to 16, bro. That's insane. That's rad. But would I still take it? Probably not, bro. Like I said, but though you're not wrong, man. If you time it right, you could damn near break even very quickly, and it's a risk-free trading. You just let it fucking nosedive. But yeah, bro, I'm so committed to just keeping our process simple, focusing on grind line breaks, breaches of significant lows, monthly lows, daily lows, weekly lows, waiting for a type 1, type 2 divergence rate. And notice how we don't even really trade those anymore. We just
Yeah.
use them as bottom signals. And then at that point, we're just looking for funnels, because and it ties in with our order flow analysis. Like funnels are all they are is just accumulation, bro. That's all it is. They're just literally accumulation zones, a bullish rotation cycle. And there's stop punts in those ranges. But one of our problems, bro, from what I noticed from yesterday's performance when I looked over my P&Ls, a lot of the trades, We were right on a lot of our trades, just our timing was off.
Yeah, and
Timing
we
was very,
and,
very
and we
off.
kept adding while we were being wrong instead of adding more when we were right. If that makes sense.
Oh, you were absolutely right, bro. We were averaging in when it probably wasn't wise to average in. Um, and we were just like I said, we cut our winners a little too early, bro. We cut our winners just a little too fucking early. All we needed was just that one impulse, and we were out when, like I said, maybe that geometric target provided us 20, 30 more pips of movement. And so what we're doing completely works. I'm happy with this year's results. I mean, bro, we're just fucking killing it. Cramming out money like clockwork. Look at that dollar fucking yen. I'm about to hit my TP. We just hit TP on the pound Aussie. So if you guys caught that, be fucking proud of yourselves. Look at that. Easy fucking money, guys. Easy fucking money. You don't even have to really trade with stops because you know that there's going to be a lot of manipulation here. And we know where we need to exit. I don't want to see price over here. So back to your question, bro, before you go out on your run, where would
Mhm.
my uncle point be on the dollar cat? So right now, I do believe that we are seeing some type of short squeeze. We got that grind line break. I do think that this is some type of bottom. Now, if we scope out in a higher time compression, this coincides with our high volume retest, price splitter, and then we're getting that bounce. If from I'm not gonna cut the trade per se, where I'm completely out of the fucking idea is at this low right here. That is where, like, bro, we take a big fucking loss. That's that. It is what it is. But it won't even really be a big loss, man, because if you think about it, even if it does trickle down, we're gonna be reducing exposure, continuing to take longs, and then we're gonna get those swings higher before we get resumptions lower. Like, so these are opportunities to make money and recover any losses. So at case scenario, we take a small hit at the end of it or we break even. But net, man, my uncle point would definitely be underneath this low. I don't want to see anything underneath that low. Can it happen? Absolutely. We can't rule it out. That's why like I said, these macro funnels are just to give us an idea of where we need to be trading in the macro prevalent trend. But we need, like I said, we're scalpers, so we need to lock in the money as price moves in our favor, add, and then know when to cut our trades when we're wrong. Macro wise, where we're wrong is at this low right here. I would say 1.31. 1.31 is where, like, that is my ultimate uncle point. If we do see a breach lower, because we do have high impact news tomorrow, um, this is most likely what's going to happen, depending on the news injection. We get something like this. We get a very strong little dip and then a bounce. If we see that, dude, that's clear signs. That is clear signs to keep holding this long. Because generally, from what it looks like, I think we've already completed that part of the cycle. You got that grind line break, back, return move. That is major, major confirmations for us to continue holding a trade long. But worst case scenario, if we see a dip like this and then a bounce after the news, I'm going to be even more aggressive. If we see something like this, we just completely collapse and I'm not seeing any negative candle closes, and I just maybe see like very narrow range candle bars, that means that we're going to set up for another down leg. So when you get that pullback, you get like, they're called like dojis and shit like that, bro. Like very, very tight candlesticks. That's usually signs that we're going to have another aggressive impulse down. I'm just going to reduce exposure. I'm not going to cut the trade completely, because mind you, I'm still holding trades from here, from here, from here, from here. So when I say I'm fucking long, bro, I'm fucking long.
Yeah.
And I'm still adding. But that would be my ultimate uncle point, bro. I don't want to see anything underneath this low. So we could still range within here. As I said, this is just one of the scenarios. This is the problem with funnels is that they can get a little subjective. As I said, I want you to look at the differences here. So we have 1, 1, 2, 2, and then 3, 3, and then we have the funnel ceiling and the funnel support here. So technically in this setup, we haven't even really broken out yet. But yet we're getting a smaller tight compression here, and then we broke out. But in the grand prevalent structure, we haven't broken out. Now on my second chart, we broke out.
Look, Dave,
That's the
sorry to cut
problem.
you off. You have a very beautiful setup on one of our channels of the pound franc 90-10 setup. I don't know if you've seen it before, Dave. And it looks exactly how the USD CAD is setting up live as we speak. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The pound franc.
Yeah, pound franc. Let me tag you in it because I always use that as a point of reference for pretty much what you're explaining that pullback right now. I'm about to send it to you now. I see it.
Send it to me, bro. Send it in the chat because I don't know if I quite see it yet. Yeah, pound dollar. The dollar CAD, man. This could be a life if it just truly plays out and it exceeds macro targets. This could be a life changing trade. All we need is, like I'm telling you, all we need is that one fucking trade. Just we're on the right side of the trend. We're playing it in that fucking direction, and we're holding it as long as we can. All the while we're locking in the money, taking in the money. This could be a life changing fucking trade.
I just sent
And
it
when
to
I
you
do
now,
my
dude.
macro, you see, look at that direct messages.
Oh no, not DMs. Just go to the chat. I put this. I just retweeted it or tagged you in it.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet, bro. I heard it, but I don't see anything.
It's on A1
Did you tag it in
geometry.
Poland?
It's in A1 geometric structure
Ah,
templates.
got you. I see it. I see it. You're talking about the Euro Czar?
Pound franc.
I'm Frank.
I can't see it. I can see what you're seeing.
Yeah, give me a second. Oh, it's a trade that we did prior, right?
Yeah, it's a trade we did
Is
prior.
that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it kind of looks like that. You see how it's kind of skidding its way up? Kind of like grinding, and then it contracts, then breaks out, then it has that like rounding type of structure. It could play out like that, bro. It could literally play out like that. Anybody's fucking guess. I get where you're coming from, man. But yeah, the problem is with these macro structures, they can get a little bit subjective. But what I do like about this one, so even though technically on the macro grand scheme of things, we didn't break out, we have another tighter compression here. And we just broke out, pulled back, and we could start working our way higher. So definitely when this target is made 1.43247, we're gonna be locking in a fuck ton of money, bro, because at that point price could pull back, set up another wind up structure, collapse back into funnel support, return it. It's just too much guesswork, man. But what I do know in this template, we technically broke out, and this counts for me: one, two, two, three, three, and then we just slowly skid our way higher. And then you have your actual funnel ceiling, funnel low, breakout, and then you just see how you keep tapping it and working into it. You base out at funnel support. We scope in on lower time compressions. We could be setting up for a bullish rotation cycle. So yeah, this could be a geometric structure. This could be another. Realistically, it could be another funnel setup. Let's coat that black. Could unfold in so many ways, man. And I actually like this one very much just because you did get that false break, and then you have a price splitter right here at a key level. And if the volume lines up, then we can trust it. If it doesn't, as I said, we're still going to hold it because just because the volume doesn't line up doesn't mean it's not going to work. You got to take it right before the breakout. Yeah, that's not right. Give me a second. Full range.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, I mean, we got those negative candle closes, bro. As I said, maybe this is gonna set up a more macro template. Who fucking knows? But what I do know is that we are starting to squeeze. We got that break. Expect some type of pullback return move. Negative candle close here. We didn't quite take it out. We came back with the negative candle close. And that essentially means we could set up a bullish rotation cycle, bro, where we get that pullback tomorrow into the news. Then we start ripping higher.
Yeah, the more I look at this, Dave, it reminds me more of my bottom play. Because we could be simply catching the bottom now. Like I feel like this could be the if you play a very smart type stop, this could be the just the very bottom.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. It really could. And as I said, it coincides with a high volume proximity where
Yeah,
it makes sense for price to pull back, which
it's
is
hov-
right there. It
it's
doesn't necessarily, yeah.
it's hovering right on March's high because it just came back to March's high, and that's where it came back perfectly touched. Kind of lines to show you how manipulated the forex market is, Dave, where it just comes back to these levels that you really can't explain, but it just comes back. It's just picture perfect sometimes when it comes to the manipulation. If you get caught up in the smaller time frames, that's really only the place you get fucked up. I think that's why it's important that we start playing our plays with no stop, but having a uncle point where we're just avoiding exposure.
I completely agree, man. I completely agree. And as I said, the thing that I like about funnels is that I was listening to this interesting audio, and I always listen to it, bro. It's like The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and then The Seven Rings by somebody else, man. But it's all the same shit. They kind of like work ideas off each other.
Yeah.
But these were written by fucking samurai military generals, bro. And I'll send you guys the audiobook in there. Buy it. It's a cheap fucking buy, bro. You probably won't even spend more than $5 on it, and it's an audiobook worth listening over. I listen to it every time I'm in the fucking sauna, bro. And it's just there's so many things akin to war that are applicable and relatable into trading. And one of the things that goes is like pretty much one of the things that he was saying is you have to understand yourself and the playing field, your enemy. You know, all their fucking tactics. That's the game of strategy, bro. Is not just looking at the outcome of the war or the game, but looking at all the possibilities that could go wrong. Looking at all the other elements that you're not paying attention to. And essentially what I derived from that is, well, how many different scenarios can your or outcomes can your setup unfold in? Essentially. Well, I've already broke it down in a prior training where, dude, you could get a breakout, pull back, rip. You could get a small pullback, secondary impulse back into the high volume funnel, and then rip, and then maybe get a negative candle close. That would be a very like same fucking thing with the Euro Aussie, bro. If we fucking held this trade, dude, oh my god, I'm kind of Eurocat. Was it the Eurocat? It was a fucking Eurocat.
Hmm.
I'm kicking myself in the ass for not holding this a little bit longer because it's damn near at fucking target. And look at that tight fucking entry that we got on that negative candle close. We got that break, minor pullback, second impulse, and then we trickle down into high volume zone with a negative candle close, dude.
Yeah.
Our fucking risk reward to our exit proximity would have been 1 to 56,
That's
dude.
crazy. That's kind of like the play that I'm trying to describe to you that I see in my head that I think wasn't a good of example of pound franc because that the risk to reward that you could get on that just simply off sticking to the process uh just kind of shows you that it's like, and this is what you kind of touched up on, Dave, that people in here watching that I hope grasp is that you need to fall in love with the process because you see how we're talking about a play that we're not even in, but just watching it gives us pleasure. It's really the idea that we fall in love with, and not really the money. You get me?
Yeah, because that's where the money is, bro. Really,
Right.
if you think about it, the money comes from studying how this shit plays out, how it unfolds, understanding all the contingencies, the variables, the elements of how it works, how it should look, how it should behave, how what it needs to look like when it doesn't behave. Where are your exit points in this type of stuff? And like I said, man, funnels can unfold in so many ways, but the more that you're accustomed to that, it's like muscle memory. You're not going to freak out when, let's say, you buy here and then it pulls back. You know, you're not going to freak out when it maybe, pulls back into the price splitter. You're not going to freak out when it moves in your favor and you're buying the highs and chasing the highs and then it dumps again lower. Now, obviously, if you're leveraged, that's a whole different story. But if you're scalping, bro, that pushback should not be significant to your P&L. You should be sizing in when you get those. Our 90-10 setups are when you break out, pull back into the high volume proximity, price splitter with a negative candle close, dude. You can fucking margin out on those trades. And you're going to get in with very, very tight risk, high reward. Like I said, Eurocat, bro, like I said, I'm kicking myself for not holding this a little bit. Even if I held it 50% of the way to target, I would have made 1 to 34, bro. $1,000 risked on that would have been 34 fucking G's in the space of 2 weeks. Fucking insane, bro. That's fucking insane. Like I said, that's why you study this stuff. You go back because then it starts to build that confidence in the foundations of, dude, this isn't the only time that this is going to happen. I've scanned a couple other charts where it's happened too. And like I said, it's not the first time where we're going to see something like this.
Yeah,
And I
that
think we're at a
geometric
very
setup you were
key.
just explaining it, David. It's only two impulses. You don't get three. It broke out, came right back, and it was exactly what you were explaining earlier.
Yeah, exactly, man. Ooh, hold on. Give me a second, guys. I think I'm gonna take my fuck. I know it's probably gonna already make our target, but take your money on the dollar yen. Like I said, it's I get a little antsy when it's just like literally
Take,
hovering right underneath the target, and then it starts to sell off like that. That doesn't mean that it won't make the target, but it could have an extended sell off before it makes target. I'm not willing to stick around for that shit, man. We're damn near there. So, any of you guys in the dollar yen, take your fucking money now. Let me see. Oh yeah, bro. That's a nice. It's just gas money, man. It's just fucking gas money, bro. That's like $50 made. Covers the fucking gas on my Maserati. I don't give a fuck. Like I said what I was gonna do. I did it. I didn't trade more than 10,000 units. From our entry before the pop, I got in somewhere around there. That's about 60 pips. You know, I was like 8,000 units in, so that's about 50 bucks. I could have made 60 if I traded the full 10,000, but not too bad, man. Easy money. Lock in the fucking money. Like I said, it'll probably breach past the target, but what I've noticed is that there are instances where you miss the target by a fucking pubic hair and then it just collapses lower. And it could just grind up until Newsday, which is I think on Wednesday, before you get the we're not gonna hold through that, man. It's just there's no efficiency in that.
yeah, it's FOMC
So
too.
blocking, what was that?
It's FOMC.
Oh yeah. Wednesday FOMC 2 p.m. I don't think there's going to be a lot of volatility FOMC, but we don't know that. We still don't know that, man. I think retail traders are just getting a little bit smarter. They're not trading high impact news like FOMC or NFP. We started to notice that there's really not that much volatility on those days, but still anything could happen, and that's just not a risk that we're willing to take. This was another clean setup, guys. Lock in your fucking money. We're printing cash like clockwork. If we did nothing else, if we did not trade for the rest of the week, we just had another successful week on a fucking Monday, bro. Obviously, there's going to be many more opportunities. I think another trade that we're going to be looking at is this could probably be a macro trend trade as well, guys. I think it was the Aussie New Zealand. Yep, this could be a. What I started to notice is when you get this type of behavior, this is how you know this could possibly be. You get this type of structure. You get a low, high, tap, and then boom.
A
This right here
parabolic move, dude.
signals a parabolic fucking move, dude. And then plus that's a false break on this funnel right here. You get some parabolic moves. So really you could start catching trades right around here and just run it fucking higher. And I think this has much more juice to go. I think we're going to set up another wind-up structure, but I think net, we do something like this where we just rip into this fucking high. I could be wrong, but what I've noticed, man, I've been studying a lot of Francis's funnel setups. I watched a lot of his videos on the day that I had off, where I was literally, that's all I did was just watch his videos. I was at a bar fucking drinking and just keeping myself productive. And what I've noticed about like real strong reversals, it looks something like this where you get that break, that false break, high, false break lower, and then boom, you reverse. And yes, that is technically a type 2 structure, a type 1 structure, but I don't know, man. It's just something about the structure signals a massive reversal opportunity. So there's going to be, even though that we missed this one, that's okay. And it needs to look like this. You put your level there and at the high, and then once you get this type of formation, bro, it's a fucking wrap. You need to be stupid long that pair, that trade. Yeah, here's another good trade, pound CAD, that where we should have held a little bit longer, but it's all good. May target, and these are the best type of funnels. As I said, 1, 1, 2, 2, and then it just almost immediately moves in your favor. So we're gonna call this a quick meeting, guys. Like I said, it's just gonna be review on some of the pairs, just something on the watch list. Euro Czar, once again, you need to be able to identify your setups on the hourly, 15-minute, no lower than that. Obviously, do your top-down approach, understand the macro prevalent trends. We did breach a significant low on the Euro Czar, but there's nothing here for us to trade. Why? Though it breached the low, weekly low, we still don't have a grind line break. And honestly, sometimes you don't even need to wait for the grind line break. You'll kind of start to know when we're bottoming out. Once again, when you get those negative candle closes, you get a type 1 structure, type 2. You don't always have to wait for the grind line break, but if you want more consistency and guaranteed trades in your P&L, in your your statement, then you need to just identify as many more filtering criteria as possible. The more that you can, how do I put this? Sum this down to a science, the more better off you're going to be. Nothing interesting on the Euro Czar, Aussie, Singapore dollar. I mean, I'm glad we cut the trade when we did because this one's just too fucking choppy, bro. It's damn near to our macro target, but even then, it's just too choppy for me, man. Way too choppy. New Zealand, Singapore dollar played out a lot more cleanly than the Aussie. Just a much more cleaner setup. Like I said, broke out and damn near made target almost instantaneously. This was a nice bottom play on the pound New Zealand. I was looking at it. I was trying to get in here, but I let it slide. I was like, we're already in the pound Aussie. We're not going to overexpose ourselves. But once again, same shit, different day, doesn't change at all, bro. Literally at all. How many countless examples have I shown you of this shit, guys? If you are still not making money, I really don't know what to tell you. You got to be doing something wrong. Same shit, different week. It doesn't change. Low of week, break, negative candle close. Does that mean you take the long? No, it's just giving you signs that we're bottoming out. You can be long if you want to there, but you need to see funnels. This is accumulation. And then you got that breakout, pullback, negative candle close on the return move. I'm almost certain there's a high volume area there before the break. Look right exactly at the key level. Exactly at the price splitter, bro. Negative candle close. You get in long on that close. Give it some breathing room. Let's say you put your stop at a key level 2.07. The reward to risk on that is massive. And I was talking my shit to the fucking clown that was calling me out earlier. Oh well, you can't have high reward to risk profiles with the high strike rate. Bull fucking shit, dude. We do it all the goddamn time. I was talking my shit today on the gram, bro, because it's dumbasses like that piss me off that have more followers. And I'm not mad because, maybe they're doing something right. Like if they're winning the game on Instagram, I don't care, bro. I care is when you start to perpetuate bullshit that's not fucking true. That's where I open my mouth. And there's people like that. They're like, oh, well, you can make a lot of fucking money if you have a 50% strike rate or even lower. All you need is high reward to risk. Bro, shut the fuck up. Yes, in theory, statistically and mathematically, yes, I get it. That is very true. But in practice, it does not work out that way. I've been doing this long enough to tell you guys that it does not work out that way. That's just a lazy excuse that these fucking traders use to bait people into their discourse to be like, just stick to the process, man. Oh, guess what? Like our strike rate isn't that good, but we're going to catch that big trade. We're going to fucking do it. We don't need to catch big trades, bro. We just need to catch micro setups, and we know when our sizable opportunities are. This is a risk it all, margin the fuck out type of setup. Break, pull back, negative candle close. You margin the fuck out. This is a 1 to 4.53. You risk $1,000 on this trade, you just made $4,530. $100 You made 453 in the space of what? Let's say we executed on the 20th. We would have probably already been in by then. But this, we would have woken up to fucking profit already. In a day, bro. In a fucking day. While we were asleep, we would have woken up to that fucking money. Pound Aussie. We hit this trade on the close. And we just waited. Manipulation. And it made fucking target. This is why you take your money at target. Look at that wick. Tell me this is not algorithmically programmed. Why is it reacting right there? Is this just an imaginary level that we've drawn for ourselves? No, bro. All of this is fucking programmed into the markets. That's how you.
He disconnected, right?
Yeah, but I think he disconnected.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oler, are you there? Danny, Derek,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
gotcha, bro. Well, all right, man. Danny, take over, man.
There you go.
Yo, my bad, bro. I think I don't know what the fuck just happened. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking zoned out, bro. I don't know what the hell happened. My internet connection lagged the fuck out. But anyways, as I was saying, you need to be grateful that the markets are manipulated. This goes back to the tactics that these big, not necessarily big operators. When I was listening to the audiobook, man, like I said, the 5 rings, or I think it was 7 rings. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I'm posting in the Discord. Listen to this shit like it's your goddamn Bible, dude. Wake up, listen to it. Go to bed, have it in the fucking back burner so your subconscious is picking up on this stuff. Dude, know your players, know your enemies, know the rules that they operate within, the rules that they play by, the tactics that they use, and you have to fucking make money when you understand their business. You understand their games. So clearly, these levels are not just little lines that were drawn. Bro, it's programmed into the market already. Look at that fucking reaction. Target was already made when I was out running errands. And I locked in the rest of my scalps. Can it go higher? Absolutely. But you just take your fucking money, man. Just
Dave.
take your money because, what's up?
I don't think we can see your stream, bro. Of your,
Oh, shit.
of your trading view.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. What about now? See it?
There you go. Yeah, I can see it now.
Super cool. Okay, see? So here you go. Look at that. Look at that reaction. Look how it's selling off already. I mean, that's just not a coincidence, dude. There's no way. That's what trips me the fuck out about this stuff is that that's how you know the game is manipulated. But thank God it's manipulated. Don't take that personal. Don't be angry about it. Find a way to play with the big boys and the algorithms, not against them. What we teach you guys is to play with them, and we keep making money week after week after fucking week, Mo. And it doesn't change. Our principles don't. Same shit with this. The Pound Aussie. Grind line break. Significant lows breached. Negative candle close. There was a negative candle close here. It was just a bottoming sign that things are starting to bottom out. There you go. Breach. Negative candle close. Negative candle close. You got your funnel, high volume area, break, deeper excursion, negative candle close. These are the trades where you size the fuck in, bro. Some of them we scalp, like the dollar yen, we didn't size in on that. Even if it was a high probability 90-10, we knew where it was going trade because it didn't provide us a sizable opportunity. It could have done so much more shit before it moved in our favor. The only time we size in on funnels, guys, is when you get that break, pull back, negative candle close. Because look, even if you sized in here, you would have got stopped out. And that's okay. You take the next entry, boom. You're in the money. Don't take this shit personal. It's just probabilities, but at the end of the day, we have a significantly high strike rate. And I hope you guys can see that. The receipts are in the Discord. Every weekend, we're fucking killing it, dude. Every week. That's insane. Yes, there will be a week where we just get smacked in the fucking face. It could be this week. Hell, we could be massively wrong on the dollar fucking CAD. And this thing just collapses lower. And we got to take some hits. But net, we almost always recover, and we recover very quickly. Why? Because there's so much opportunity based off the setups that we teach you, the setups that we take. And ZDCAD, overperformance on this shit. This right here, this is a stop punt. We just use the funnels to let us know that they're accumulating here. But this is a stop punt. Negative candle closed. On a bullish rotation cycle. Pop. Look at that low. That would have been your trigger right there. This is your range. That's your range. From low to high, tap, stop punt, boom, off to the races. Could it have gone a lot lower? Absolutely. Could have done a double swipe, triple swipe, whatever. All this is just order flow, man. It's nothing new under the sun that we haven't taught. It's just that we use the funnels to give us a much more accurate idea of where the breakout is likely to occur. Because for all I know, bro, back then we would have been getting in right here. And we would have had to hold through this shit and kind of wonder, like, damn, bro, what's gonna happen? You know what? The trade's not working. That I noticed we did a lot of that last year. Where it's like, you know what? It just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. Cut the fucking trade. Only for it to move in our favor. Only for it to move in our favor. We're not doing that shit anymore. Now I know when I see this, okay, now I see what's going on much more accurately. Now I know I should still hold my position. I know where to exit in the event that I'm wrong. And then even when you overperform, look at that. Now you're starting to cascade lower. And these are probably amazing short opportunities. You know, when you overperform 9 times out of 10, you're gonna revert back to reversion of the mean, reversion back to mean. So you can look for short setups here if you wanted to short, but we're not gonna do it because things in motion tend to stay in motion until an equal or opposite force move it in the opposite direction. This is why I encourage you guys to fucking read and study things. It doesn't even have to be market related. When you activate your brain to so many different things, guys, it's going to open up your creativity. Today, I'm reading this book it's called Corpus Hermeticum. It's a little bit more on like the occult, not like fucking Satanism, but like occultism in terms of like synchronicities in life, you know, a much more deeper meaning to divinity. You know, it doesn't have like, you know, like fucking dark shit in here. I thought it's what it was going to have from looking at it. But what this stuff does, man, is just kind of a much more different perspective on a guy named Hermes Trismegistus, who had a different take on the meaning of life, you know, spirituality and stuff like that. And I was reading this chapter where he basically talks about everything in life. Once it's in motion, it stays in motion. Nothing dies. Nothing is destroyed. Nothing was really ever created. And his idea is like, we didn't come from God. Christianity teaches us that we come from God. Well, the world came from God. He believes that we came from the world, and our job is to find God. That's what he believes. And there was a specific chapter where he's talking about the physics of things. And it's like things in motion tend to stay in motion until an equal or opposite force move it in the opposite direction. And he coincides that beautifully with like the soul, the world, life, and death. And I was like, bro, like this is so applicable to the fucking markets. You know, it's just like I said, when you learn how to be creative, you could take something that literally has nothing to do with trading and you could apply it on there. So I encourage you guys to constantly read, to constantly study. But if you're going to really, really digest and absorb information, I want it to be the Art of War by Sun Tzu or the 5 Rings. I'm going to go ahead and post that audiobook. I think you guys could buy it for like $5, no more than that, man. And even if it does cost more, get the fucking book, bro. It's an investment in yourself. Even if you pay $10, bro, think about the dumb shit that you pay money on. $10 to actually learn something that's going to help you improve on your craft. I mean, that's a fucking steal. And these books were written by actual samurais and militant generals, like warlords, bro. People who killed people. I think they fucking know a thing or two about war. And it's just crazy, man, how all of that stuff actually applies to trading when you know how to properly apply it. Scope out your fucking landscape, bro. Know your domain. You know, learn where you have your edge. You know, learn how to handle one enemy the same way you will learn how to handle 1,000 enemies. Don't be a master of one weapon. Because if you don't know how to master other weapons when the situation warrants it, how the fuck are you going to defend yourself? Learn to be the master of one thing, but also learn to be highly skilled in other aspects of your life. Know the terrain. Know thyself. Know thy enemy. Because how do you expect to win battles if you don't even know your fucking self? Know when it's time to run. You're not going to win every battles, bro. Know when it's time to run. In the market, that means know when to stay the fuck out. You know? Whenever you see birds flying, bro, like say it's just a very quiet, lonely road and you're just walking, and then all of a sudden you see a flock of birds coming. The stupid person was like, oh, you know, that's cool. Whatever. Just a flock of birds. But the fucking guy that's self-aware would be like, what the fuck just happened there? That's a flock of birds. They're flying away from something in that direction. Maybe we should avoid that direction. It's the same thing with the markets. They're leaving you clues, but you may not know what it's trying to exactly communicate to you, but it's leaving you the clues that something in that fucking direction I need to avoid. The clues are those negative candle closes. As I said, we're getting near a bottom, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the exact fucking bottom. Negative candle closes. Look at that. Clean entry. But then you had one here. See if you had one here. This is just the same shit, man. Nothing changes. Be a master at your craft, guys. Take this very, very seriously, because I promise you, you're going to die doing this. What I mean by that is the markets are always going to be here, and it is a skill that will take care of you for a lifetime. So much so that at some point in time when you actually start to make significant amounts of fucking money, this is literally going to pay your goddamn bills. And then some. You can finance your fucking dream car. You could finance the life that you want. You could move to a different fucking country. If you can move to fucking Bali, bro, where everything's cheaper, and as long as you have internet access, you can make significant amounts of money. Knowing that, hey, dude, I managed to accumulate 6 figures in my lifetime, 100,000. Trading, bro, you don't worry about the $1 million. That will come in time, but focus on having at least $50,000 to $100,000 to your name, cash in your trading account, and knowing that you have the discipline to consistently make money, bro. I promise you can get the fuck out of here, because at that point you could really start to make some insane cash flow, dude. Insane cash flow. At the time when I was in Cali, bro, when I made that $300,000, bro, in my trading account, I probably only had 70,000 in the trading account at that time. And then I had probably another 200,000 liquid cash, bro. Like 58 grand in my actual pocket, and then the rest in my bank account. So I was just buying cryptocurrencies, bro. That day I was flipping money like goddamn clockwork. That year, flipping, bro. I was investing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 at a time, and all these altcoins that I was like, bro, this shit's gonna double, triple in a fucking month or two, and it did just that. $20,000 became $40,000. I took my fucking money, rinse and repeat, allocated it here, another $10,000, $20,000 here, same shit, doubled, tripled, dude. It was an amazing time to be alive, at least for me, bro. That was the pinnacle of my fucking career. And I was stupid short the Euro franc. I was long the CAD franc. And I was just, my bread and butter trades were on the Euro USD and Aussie USD. I remember it like it was just yesterday, because that was the most euphoric time in my life. That can happen to you. And it will happen to you if you stick it out long enough to learn this shit well, do it right, and understand that it is winnable. I'm proving to you all the time that it is winnable over and over and over again. So, anyways, For Color Rat Man, let's go ahead and just do some multi cross point analysis. This is my macro idea on the DXY. We still have an unmet target. We do have this descending falling wedge, which I do like, but they're not really reliable, so to speak. I do like because they're generally wind up structures. So worst case, we could pull back into the price splitter here and then base out and then continue our run and trajectory higher to target the 110. 110.261 in this case, where our geometric target is. Like I said, what I don't like about these is that there's really no real clear signs of what it's going to do other than this negative candle close. So we can assume we have a localized low. We also have a funnel that just formed here, technically. And then you have your key level there. Obviously, we can't put volume by price on an index because there's no centralized volume on this. Finally getting that breakout. So it looks like we could see a little bit of dollar strength this week, tomorrow, or we don't. We just fucking completely grind lower. We tap the high, we grind lower, and then we pop. But net, we're getting close to the bottom. Why? Negative candle close. We breached that low, so this is a stop hunt. They could work the level, etc., etc. But we are betting on dollar strength, which should definitely be good for our dollar CAD position. U.S. rates, same fucking shit. Same fucking shit. Another funnel. There you are. High volume, breakout, and then you're just working your way down. You had that grind line break. So on balance of probabilities, we're most likely, it's not a full grind line break, but on balance of probabilities, we're unlikely to return into the price splitter, so we could just work our way higher. Gold, not a market that we trade, but it's also important to look at. For Confluence, looks like we overperformed on target. We tapped this high, so yeah, we could start to see a bit of weakness for gold. So much so that it's possible we even clean out this low before we set up another wind-up structure higher for gold. So gold lower generally means dollar strength. Obviously, that correlation has been a little off this year. That's why I say take correlations with a grain of salt. Gold has been up as well as the dollar. Cryptocurrencies are going up while the dollar is strong. So we are in the everything bubble. You have to be very careful at times like this, take correlations with a grain of salt. But generally, when you see gold starting to decline, that's usually a tick up on the dollar. But the fucking stock market just keeps ripping higher, bro. Like, just absolutely keeps ripping higher. I don't really know what else to say on this. As I said, it's just a very weird fucking time. For all I know, we could collapse next week, dude. It just happens. The stock market's a very weird market for me. As I said, when I start to see that we grind higher like this, it starts to scare the fuck out of me. Because every time you have that consistent little trend, you get those aggressive sell-offs that just flush out as much leverage longs as possible. The reason the stock market sees these type of moves, you guys want to take a stab at it? Let me see. Sal, why do you think that the stock market grinds very consistently in a trending fashion and then has these aggressive fucking dips? Just think through that, man. Think through that question. Can you hear me, bro?
Yo, Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear
Okay.
you, man.
Yeah, so I was saying, not only is it collecting liquidity, bro, with those deep spikes, but also like if you're holding a long position with those grinds, like I don't know, I feel like your patience wouldn't be so much there if you're a day trader.
Yeah. So you're close, man. You're close. But the reason mind you, because you can trade the ETF. You could trade the S&P 500. Yeah, it's an index. You can actually trade that, in futures. Net, bro, the S&P 500 or the SPY is just an index over 500 of America's best companies, right? But 90% of them are fucking shit. If you really think about it, it's only like 7-10 major companies that are holding the stock market higher. But net, you're told that the stock market generates about 10 to 12% per annum, sometimes more, sometimes less, but net per annum, this is what it's generating. So it's a trending market regardless. The reason this is attractive is because you now have a theoretical model of where this thing's going to go. It's always going to fucking go up, right? So most people, they're just going to buy this, and they're going to buy it with leverage if you're a futures trader, if you're an options trader. That's why you get these consistent trends where you grind, because most people, they just keep buying the dips. They buy the dips. They buy the dips. And then eventually, when you start to grind higher, you get those very strong capitulative moves. You grind higher, and then boom, it flushes out as many leverage longs as possible. The reason you get these moves are because of leverage that gets injected into the market. All these traders, if you're holding this trend higher and higher, bro, you're leveraged up the fucking ass, especially if you're adding, but you will get flushed out. These are most likely fucking margin calls, to be honest, bro. And we're getting there very, like when I start to see this, bro, it makes me very antsy. And at a high, sure, we could continue to trade way higher, but at some point in time, we're going to clean out as much liquidity as possible. So that's my take on the stock market. How does that affect the dollar? Very good. Very, very good. People sell their assets, dollar goes up. If you sell a stock, by virtue of the fact, you get dollars in return. Same thing with gold. If gold sells off, dollar goes up. If interest rates go up, the dollar goes up. If other economies collapse, the dollar goes up. The dollar's just in a position, and I've been listening to a lot of Brett Johnson's dollar milkshake theory, and bro, he's the only motherfucker still calling dollar long, all the while everybody's saying it's the end of the U.S. government, the U.S. is going to collapse, the dollar is going to collapse, and they might be right. If you keep calling rain, at some point in time, you'll be right. But net, bro, from the way he put things, the dollar has the ultimate leverage, and they're going to fight tooth and nail before they ever let themselves collapse. We're the fucking pit bull in the block, bro. We're the big bad wolf right now. Do you really think the U.S. is going to give up that power so easily? It will collapse at some point in time. This system is mathematically designed to collapse. But I personally don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. You can get some scary moments. Like I said, we're in some scary moments now. We had COVID. We're having wars. Russia. China is a fucking problem. We're still not really out of this COVID situation. For all we know, tomorrow we gave it another fucking lockdown. Another strain comes out. The World Health Center never said anything about, oh yeah, that was just a little fluke. We never have to worry about it again. Nobody said anything. In some states, blue states at that fucking matter, you still have to wear fucking masks. You still need proof of vaccinations. That's absurd, man. The world, and that is amazing for us because that creates a lot of volatility in the financial markets. So anyways, now that we're done with that, we've done our multi-cross analysis. We're dollar long. Until our thesis changes, we are dollar long. Euro USD is still a bit tricky, but as I said, with what we highlighted, it's very possible that we get a collapse tomorrow. Do we have news tomorrow for the Euro? 22nd. Well, we got FOMC, so we either spike higher then collapse or just completely collapse from here. Anybody's fucking guess. So we don't short anymore. It's just not. We will do it from time to time, but it's just not our fucking cup of tea, and we're most likely going to avoid it at all costs. So we do have that divergence structure. We're nearing a grind line break, significant high breached. We'll see what happens. And we're hovering right under, we technically just tapped the 109. So we either breach above it or we just collapse from here. Remember, price is always moving from one key level to the next. So it could be that we move into the 106, the 107, the 108. Who fucking knows? But we're calling short the euro still. Aussie dollar this has me further believe that the euro is gonna collapse is that significant high breached, funnel, targets made. You made one slight attempt to overperform and you failed. We're likely going to see this is a short opportunity for me. You know, we're likely to continue seeing more downside. NZD USD, very similar play, just not the cleanest of structures. Pound dollar also still not the cleanest of structures. It's all the same narrative. Dollar strong, short anything against the dollar, but you want to look for the best setups. The only best setups there are right now are the Euro USD, divergent structure, cleaner setup. You can get a tight entry, and then the Aussie dollar. You overperformed already. You made targets 9 times out of 10. You're going to revert back to mean. So, but NZD, pound dollar, no clean setups there. Dollar yen. We took our money already, but target technically fucking made. Clean goddamn trade. Why did we take this long? Because negative candle close, you breached lower, negative candle close, and you just started working your way higher. Volatile descent, these are inefficient moves. And then you just completely recover 50 to 60% of that move. Something tells me we're still headed higher. And then you got a wind-up structure. Boom. Done. Euro yen. And look, the Euro yen, similar structure. Breach that high. So you could add that for confluence. This is technically where we're at on the dollar yen. And we're damn near about to breach that high. So that's another confluence that I used. So there was no setup here, but it moved. It's a very similar structure, and it moved past that high. You don't have to trade everything. Just trade the thing where you're just trade the things where your 90-10 setups are available, guys. It's clear and concise, where you understand the fucking trade. CAD yen, no clean setups, but you probably had them over here. You had a nice little fun. I mean, you had a funnel there. You could have gotten long there, taking it, boom, you're done. No real clean setup there. Aussie yen was the one that had the best setups here, bro. Look at that. Funnel, pop, funnel, pop, funnel, pop, funnel, targets. It was as easy as it got, dude. The Aussie yen would probably been the best fucking play against yen crosses. We're technically getting a setup now on the franc yen. Something. Would I be ecstatic to trade this? Probably not. Not the best structure. You already got that pullback. Yeah. So as I said, you can breach a little bit higher, then come back into the price. So if we do see a negative candle close and return move there, we're fucking long. And we'll take it to targets and definitely at this high. So we'll see how that plays out. Pound yen. Oh yeah, look at that. That shit just fucking ripping. So you can use this as information. You can use this as confluence in terms of how the other pairs are likely to play out. But you want to play the pairs where your setup is clearly present. It's clearly concise. Like you can physically fucking see it. There's another thing that has me off about the dollar right now, though, is generally when the euro franc is high, that's not good for dollar. That's not good. So it does have me a little bit antsy, but we don't know. As I said, confluences are to be taken with a grain of salt. Just look for the structures. Everything else falls into place. But the euro franc higher, that's certainly not a good fucking thing. But look at that parabolic move, man. This thing in momentum is most likely going to run its course to target, and it's going to do it very quickly. Do I still expect more downside for the euro franc? Oh, yeah, absolutely, bro. This could just be a massive fucking rally. This is just a massive pullback in the grand scheme of things. But on a shorter time compression, it's a rally. But net, we have not capitulated lower. Until I see a capitulation, that's when I truly believe that is the bottom for this downtrend. You need to see these type of capitulative moves, and you can go into a macro uptrend for an extended period of time. But will we be longing this pair? No. Why? Because it goes against our fundamental thesis. The Euro franc is not a fucking long, especially when you've been trading and trending as high as this already. Nah, man. That's just, you're asking for fucking trouble. When I start to see elongated structures like this, and the higher you are in the trend, remember I told you the probability dramatically erodes. So it can still make target, but then again, high impact news comes out midweek and then it just fucking dumps. So it's just not something that we would look to trade. Pound franc, no setup, even though it's moving, you don't fucking chase. I made that clear over and over. Do not chase price moves. If you're a real trader, you know that the market will always at some point in time provide you an opportunity to exploit it. Or it'll provide you another setup. And we've been calling the pound franc since last year. Look at this fucking move. And I held through a lot of this, bro. I'm already completely out of the position, but I capitalized on all of this fucking shit, dude. I told you guys not to trade it just because it's a very illiquid pair and it will eat up a lot of your margin if you have small accounts. But because, like I said, I have a decent sized account still. Bro, I held through that shit. I wasn't even paying attention to it. Why? Because we had a capitulation low, and 9 times out of 10 from our prior trainings, you make 50 to 60% of that move. Look at the course that it's on. We are going to see this shit over and over and over again. Don't worry about it. We didn't miss nothing. It's going to happen across. The Forex market is the best market to fucking trade right now. I don't care what anybody fucking says. It is extremely volatile. It is the best fucking market to trade. And it's only going to continue to get more disorderly and more chaotic, which is going to provide more volatility, thus more opportunity for all of us. But look, we're damn near there. We're damn near there. So if we see another wind-up structure, we will take it because we know with a high degree of accuracy and confidence where this is likely to go. Right now, there is no setup. This is not a setup. Nothing about this says setup. Because if you buy here, you could have an aggressive pullback. And you got to sit through that shit, man. Wait for the setup. But this is still long. It's still on our watch list. Cat Frank, another wind-up structure, but do I trust it? Not necessarily. Can it make target? Absolutely. We could nick that high, which lines up with this geometric structure, but we've already had a setup here, setup here, setup here. Like, that's pushing that shit, bro. Like I said, after the third one, and you're already extended into that trend, you're pushing that shit, man. They start to become more unreliable the higher you get. It doesn't matter how clean it looks. It doesn't matter how good it fucking looks. It doesn't matter how bad you want to take a fucking trade. The higher you get into the trend, if you didn't get in at these points right here, we took advantage of all this shit right here, bro. This is where we were pretty much, wait, was it here? Yeah, I think it was this. Yeah, it was this point in time. We made our money, and that's it. We locked in the money. We were in, we were out. And look, bro, that's why you don't worry, because look, at some point in time, it's just going to fucking oscillate. It's going to chop around. You don't want to sit through that. Where are we at? Aussie Frank. Nice little beauty of a trade here. We could have gotten in there. Nice capitulative move. Came back into the high. Get a nice little funnel. Overperformance. And now it's looks like it's going to collapse lower. Trade's done. You're in, you're out. Take your fucking money. NZD Frank, we made our money here. We made our money here all the way up until this point. And I just forgot about it. I was like, I did see that setup here. But I was like, not the best one. Do I care? No. I already knew it was going to take out that high, but we already made a fuck. This was a money maker, I think, 2-3 weeks ago. And that's it. Lock in the fucking money. If you want to hold, you can hold, because sometimes you can get moves like this and make a fuck ton more money. But it's okay, man. We want consistency in our P&L. USD Franc, once again, man, pushing that shit. But just because the USD Franc sells off doesn't mean that the dollar, any other dollar pairs have to sell off. For all we know, this could be another wind-up structure. False break. And now we just want to move higher. Things in motion tend to stay in motion until an equal or opposite force move it in an opposite direction. We haven't breached this high. If we're going to sell off anywhere, it would most likely be above that high. We breached that high. And then you start to get distribution signals. Dollar CAD, not much to cover here. We already pretty much covered that in the beginning of our training. But what we do like about this particular pair and setup is, let me clean this sloppy mess real quick. We do have some type of funnel here, not the cleanest of structures. I'll admit that. But we have a macro structure, a structure within a structure. We had this little 1 push, 2 push, 3 push, and notice how they're not all that aggressive to the downside. It's almost like something is just buying these lows. You know it's a downtrend when you just collapse like that with these aggressive swings. It didn't do that. It's just rally, breaches the low, but it didn't breach it like that. If it breached it like that and then rallied higher, I would have been like, yeah, this is probably a downtrend. This rally needs to be faded. But we didn't get that. Once again, we just got that 1 push, 2 push, 3 push, and it wasn't even aggressive. And look where it's doing it. At the funnel support. High volume area. It's supporting. That's why it's doing it. It's supporting. On an intraday perspective, once again, we got that funnel, false break, negative candle closes. We didn't even breach this one. So that lets me know something is buying at these lows. And we could parabolically spike tomorrow on news. And we're going to make some fucking money again tomorrow. We had 2 good trades today. Easy fucking money, guys. Here we are. Boom. But we obviously believe that this is going to go significantly higher based off our dollar long thesis. So there we do. We got a setup there where we would size in, as I said, where we get a sizable opportunities if we get a pullback return move into the price splitter, negative candle close. That is where you margin the fuck out. Almost done. Just bear with me. Dollar peso did not play out the way I was wanting it to play out, but that's why we didn't take the fucking trade. Because I was hoping to see a funnel. When you see this, comes back, and then it breaks lower, exit the fucking trade. I don't care how much money you just exit the fucking trade. This should not be happening. This is a beautiful example of how a funnel should not look. If this was the manipulation, this should already been boom, back inside, and then worked its way higher. But you had an opportunity to break even, but we would have, if we took this trade, we would have believed that we were still going to move higher. But if I saw a sell-off like that signs for me, exit the fucking trade. No ands, ifs, whats, or buts. Take your fucking loss, take it like a champ, and move on. Once again, look at this. This is not how a funnel should coincide with your analysis. It's not how it should look if it's a legitimate setup. Aussie CAD. I mean, man, I said this one was a fucking killer of a trade. We were actually calling the Aussie CAD since early this year, and unfortunately, man, it was just a very choppy pair. Not to my liking. I mean, we made some money off this pair, but yeah, it was just too choppy for my liking. We were calling an inverted head and shoulders. I think it was right here. Yeah, it was right fucking here, bro. Inverted. Grind line break, neckline. Had I seen that, bro, I would have re-entered fucking long and gone stupid with it, man. But, like I said, there was no clear funnel structures. This is not one I like to see. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You just can't win them all, bro. We want clean setups. We want clean fucking setups. Oh, and back to the look at that. Look what I fucking tell you. What did I fucking tell you guys? 9 times out of 10, when you get a head and shoulder setup, look where price goes back to. Cleans out the stops there. You're gonna see it more often than not. So always prepare for that. And that is when you see something like this, bro, margin the fuck out. You're gonna trust me, you're gonna make a lot of money. Target almost made on the EuroCAD. We did take profits a little early on that, but that's okay. We made money. We made money. Learning experience for next time. If you have a tight entry with the tight stop order and it moves significantly away from your entry, just break even and let the fucking trade do what it's gonna do. Lesson learned on that. That's what we're doing next time.
Yo, Dave,
Just break even. Yo, what's up, man?
for that EuroCAD, man, I have a trade going on that, but on the smaller time frames. I see, for me, I see a little funnel on that. Not sure if you could see that as well. There you go. Yeah,
Yes,
that little
sir.
funnel. So I'm playing off that with it's like a 1 to 3.
Okay. I said not the cleanest, but definitely not the worst. Why? Because you have price pacing out at a key level, key round number, 1478. Flip high volume. The anchor point before the breakout. That's good enough for me as long as it's near it. I said not the cleanest, but it's still valid, bro, and it still coincides with our macro setup. Although I'll be honest with you, I would not take the target on this micro setup. I would look to just run it here, bro. Which I mean, it can overperform. There is confluence here, so yeah, don't get me wrong. You can overperform. It could just, and then from there, what it does is anybody's fucking guess. It could collapse, but yeah, I would look to take your money here. But I mean, it's not a bad trade, bro. That's good. Like, you should be in the money sometime this week. Probably not. It's like there's high impact now. Yeah, inflation rate for the CAD. So you can certainly have a quick sell-off on the news, pullback return move, and then if you do see, like, once again, a negative candle close, size the fuck in, bro. Take your money. That's it. But not a bad play, bro. That's actually a good catch. I'm glad that you're starting to see that. And it coincides with our macro target. So until this target has been made, you need to play with that continuation thesis in the back of your head. And the DCAD, stupid overperformance, and then now it's starting to show signs of collapse. Nothing interesting there. Pound CAD, man. We didn't hold this as long as we should have, but we still made money on it. A bit shitty just because I said we spent a lot of time holding it just to collect pennies on it, but I still made several $100s, bro. I'm not complaining. It's just I could have made well over 1,000 on this trade, bro. If I just held a little bit longer. Once again, we don't play the woulda, shoulda, coulda. We made our money. Be happy. This one, I just like this example, bro. This was as clean as it fucking got. Negative close, weekly low, grind line break, type 2 structure. Oh, this is type 1. What the fuck? This is type 1. What the fuck am I doing? Yeah, my bad, guys. That is a type 1, not a type 2. Geometric structure, funnel, boom. You got that parabolic move, base out, and then boom. All targets made. You take your money, you get the fuck out, because look at the result afterwards. You don't want to be holding through that. Do we chase this? No, but you got another setup here. Negative candle close. Breach. Negative candle close. That's your fucking trigger. You have a little micro grind line break. I'm sure if we scoped in on the 15-minute to 5-minute, there's one right here. There's one right there. Parabolic move. You wait for the wind up. Oh, look at that key level. You guys started to notice a recurring theme here? It's all consistency, man. It's all the same shit over and over and over again. You probably would have. What I don't like about these tighter funnels, though, is that they rarely give you like, unless you're catching it in real time, which is going to be hard because you have to wait for this low to form. Well, I mean, you could technically, yeah, I mean, we could have been entering scalps there, but these don't really provide a massive window of opportunity for you to accumulate your position, let alone with size. Because it just, when it rips, it just takes off. And look at that. Within a second hourly candle, you're in and out of the trade. So, but this is another example of a clean fucking setup. Grind line break, negative candle closes, prior weekly low breach, negative candle close, reversal, parabolic move, wind up, and then boom, you're in, you're out. So can it set up a more macro structure? Absolutely. This could be a macro funnel, and this could be a massive fucking play for us. We will wait, and we will know it when we see it. But for right now, we do nothing. Because all of these intraday positions have already been made. We just now need to wait for something that we can viably take. And another beautiful trade. We already made money on this. Pound Aussie. We need not cover this because we just did that. Euro New Zealand. Nothing interesting here other than yeah, so you got a breach there. You had a very tight funnel. But once again, I don't really like these right here because you're almost guaranteed to miss them. They just happen so quickly, but they're clean nonetheless. There's nothing wrong with them. You do have a key level here. Yeah, 1.778. That's what you need to see, man. Make sure that these price splitters line up very beautifully with the impulses at the midpoint. That's how you can trust them. I'm sure if we were to draw a high volume there, it should almost align before the breakout. That's it. There are those rare instances where it may not align perfectly, but fuck it, man. As I said, you make that discretion on yourself. I like to trade the ones where it lines up damn near at the level or slightly above it. Those are the ones that are almost guaranteed to fucking work. We just covered the pound New Zealand. And that's it, guys. We literally covered everything we needed to cover. Just to close up, all of our trades have been made, so we should only be long the dollar CAD at this point, and it looks like we're going to get something play out tomorrow, so expect to make more money tomorrow, God willing, knock on wood, if this actually plays out in our favor, which it looks like it should. If we do, worst case scenario, we get CAD news injection, and we just see an aggressive sell-off into the news, but then that could give us a wind-up into targets where we can size in and make some fucking dough, baby. So easy stuff, man. Easy stuff. Before we call it a wrap, do you gentlemen have any questions that I can answer for you?
I'm good on my end, Dave.
All right, nice.
Get on
Anybody
my
else?
end, bro. Too.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same.
Perfect, man. As I said, I wanted today's training just to be a quick review, go over our watch list, and then train your eyes to see this shit. I want you guys to just see how easy this can be. How you just got to filter through these charts just like that. Be a master of the craft. Focus on one or two things. At this point, we should only be longing at this point, and I promise you, you guys have to make money. Once again, if you're ever struggling, reach out to me. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. But this is going to be a massive year, so don't fuck it up. Stay focused, stay sharp, and be ready every day to attack, man. Sad thing about the markets is that not every day we're going to make money, but you got to show up every fucking day. Because that one day that you don't show up is the day you miss your opportunity. This is a 24/8 gig. So with that said, much love. I appreciate you guys attending the meeting, and we will see if tomorrow's a good day for us as well. Today was a good day, so let's pray for tomorrow. But you guys have a great rest of your night, all right?
All right, good night, Dave. Good night, boys.
Good night, y'all. Take it
Sounds
easy.
good. Good night,
See you,
y'all.
man.